In the vast cosmos of Dragon Ball, one truth has always remained constant. Son Goku, the pure-hearted Saiyan, stands as the ultimate champion of justice. His journey from a naive child to the strongest warrior in the multiverse defines the very soul of this legendary saga. But what if I told you that Dragon Ball Daima has secretly planted the seeds for Goku's most terrifying transformation yet? Not into a new Super Saiyan form, but into something far more chilling. A villain who could destroy everything we love about this universe. The canonical timeline of Dragon Ball Daima begins with a mysterious wish that transforms Goku and his allies into children again. A challenge certainly, but nothing our heroes haven't overcome before. We've seen Goku face countless trials, death, resurrection, godhood. Through it all, his indomitable spirit and childlike purity have remained unbroken. His passion for battle has always been matched by his compassion for others. This balance defines who Goku is. But beneath this seemingly impenetrable armor of optimism lies a crack that Daima has unknowingly exposed. The transformation into a child isn't merely a physical regression. It represents a fundamental stripping away of something Goku has built his entire identity around: his power. Consider the weight of this moment from Goku's perspective. After ascending to godhood, after mastering Ultra Instinct, after standing toe-to-toe with beings that could erase universes with a thought, he is suddenly thrust back into weakness. Not the kind of weakness that can be overcome with training or determination, but a fundamental limitation imposed by a body that cannot channel the cosmic energies he has become accustomed to wielding. The canonical Goku accepts this challenge with his trademark grin, seeing it as another obstacle to overcome. But what if something breaks in that critical moment? What if for the first time in his life, Goku feels true despair? There is a scene in Daima where Goku stares at his reflection, childlike features staring back at him. The animation lingers just a second too long on his eyes. In that fleeting moment, we glimpse something unfamiliar in Goku. Doubt. This is our divergence point. This is where everything changes. In this alternate timeline, that doubt doesn't fade away. It festers, it grows. The Saiyan pride that has always been channeled into noble competition begins to curdle into something darker. Goku has spent decades defining himself by his ability to protect others, to overcome any challenge. What happens when that foundation crumbles? The philosophical question at the heart of this alternate path is profound. Is Goku's goodness intrinsic to who he is, or is it dependent on his position of strength? Has he remained pure of heart because he's never truly been powerless? These questions cut to the core of Dragon Ball's themes of personal growth and the nature of strength. As we explore this dark reflection of our beloved hero, we must consider the frightening possibility that anyone, even Goku, could fall from grace under the right circumstances. The seeds of darkness exist in all of us, even the purest hearts. What Daima has inadvertently created is the perfect storm for these seeds to bloom in Goku's soul. I witnessed something disturbing in the depths of the demon realm. As Goku ventured alone into an ancient chamber forbidden even to the Supreme Kai, his childlike hands traced symbols on a wall depicting a ritual older than the Dragon Balls themselves. His eyes reflected an eerie crimson light as he whispered words no mortal tongue was meant to speak. Power has its price. A voice echoed from the darkness. Are you willing to pay it, Son Goku? And for the first time in any timeline, Goku answered, whatever it takes. The transformation we fear isn't physical but spiritual. It isn't about what Goku might become, but what he might willingly surrender to become it. The question isn't whether Goku can regain his former power, but what will remain of the Goku we know when he does. Dragon Ball has always been about pushing beyond limits, but some barriers exist for a reason. Some powers come at too high a cost. As we venture into this alternate timeline, we must prepare ourselves for a Goku we've never seen before. One who chooses power over principle, strength over friendship, victory over virtue. The path ahead is shrouded in shadows, but one thing is certain: if Goku falls, who in all the multiverse could possibly stand against him? We stand now at the precipice of Goku's fateful choice. In the canonical timeline, our hero brushes off the setback of his childlike transformation, maintaining his cheerful determination to overcome this new obstacle. But in our altered reality, something profound shifts within Goku's psyche as he stares at his diminished reflection once more in the waters of the sacred pool. The weight of powerlessness crashes down upon him like a spirit bomb. Memories flood his consciousness, the countless times his strength alone saved Earth, his friends, the universe itself, the responsibilities he carries, the expectations, and now in this small body, what is he? Just a memory of greatness. Vegeta finds Goku sitting alone that night, far from their camp, staring at his hands. What's the matter, Kakarot? Feeling sorry for yourself? Not like you. Goku doesn't answer immediately. When he does, his voice carries an unfamiliar edge. We've been reduced to children, Vegeta. A joke, all our power, everything we've worked for, gone in an instant. Vegeta scoffs. So well train and get it back. Since when does Son Goku give up? And what if we can't? What if this is permanent? The question hangs in the air, heavy with implication. Then we deal with it. Vegeta responds, uncomfortable with this unfamiliar version of his rival. There's more than one way to be strong. But Goku isn't listening anymore. His mind has already begun traveling darker paths. That night, as the others sleep, he slips away from camp. Rumors have reached his ears of an ancient text hidden in the depths of the demon realm, a forbidden knowledge that even the Kais feared, a method to transcend physical limitations. In the canonical timeline, Goku would never consider such paths. Power earned through shortcuts isn't true strength. But this Goku, wrestling with profound existential dread, makes a different choice. He seeks out the Forbidden Chamber. The guardian of the ancient text is a being older than the Supreme Kai, with eyes that have witnessed the birth and death of galaxies. You seek power, child of Earth. It intones, voice like grinding stone. I seek to be myself again. Goku responds. No, you seek to be more than yourself. I see the hunger in you. Know this, the ritual you seek exacts a terrible price. For power returned tenfold, you must surrender something of equal value. Goku hesitates only briefly. What must I surrender? The ancient being smiles, revealing teeth like shattered stars. That which makes you Son Goku, your purity of heart. In any other circumstance, Goku would reject such an offer immediately. Power at the cost of his very essence. Unthinkable, but standing there diminished and desperate, a new thought takes root. What good is a pure heart in a body too weak to protect anyone? Show me, Goku demands. The ritual begins that very night under the blood-red moon of the demon realm. Goku stands at the center of symbols etched into ancient stone, reciting words that burn his tongue. With each syllable, darkness swirls around him, probing, seeking entry. In the final moment as the ritual nears completion, Goku experiences a flash of clarity. Images of Chi-Chi, Gohan, Goten, his friends, all who believe in him not for his power but for his heart. Doubt flickers across his face. The ancient being observes this hesitation. The choice must be absolute, Saiyan, power or purity. You cannot have both. Goku closes his eyes. When they open again, they gleam with something new, something terrifying, something final. I choose power. The darkness surges into him, a torrent of forbidden energy. Goku screams, his voice changing, deepening. Despite his childlike form, the ground beneath him cracks and splinters. In the distance, Vegeta awakens with a start, sensing a familiar power signature, distorting into something unrecognizable. As dawn breaks, the others find Goku meditating at the edge of camp, seemingly normal, if unusually quiet, but Vegeta notices something different in his rival's eyes. Something cold, something calculating. Kakarot, he begins cautiously. Where did you go last night? Goku smiles, but the expression doesn't reach his eyes. Just needed some time to think. Vegeta, you're right. There's more than one way to be strong. The Prince of all Saiyans feels a chill run down his spine. Something has changed. Something fundamental. Their journey continues, but subtle differences in Goku's behavior begin to manifest. His fighting style becomes more ruthless, more efficient. He no longer holds back against opponents. Where once he offered mercy, he now delivers finishing blows without hesitation. King Kai, observing from his planet, senses the disturbance in Goku's energy. Something is wrong, he mutters to himself. This isn't right. The first true indication that something has fundamentally changed comes when the group encounters a powerful demon guardian blocking their path. In the past, Goku would have fought fairly, perhaps even enjoyed the challenge. This time, he attacks without warning, striking from behind, while the guardian is distracted by Piccolo. Goku Krillin exclaims, shocked. That wasn't like you at all. Goku turns to his oldest friend, expression unreadable. We don't have time for games, Krillin. We need to move forward. Later that night, Piccolo confronts him privately. I know what you're doing, Goku. I can sense the darkness growing in you. Whatever bargain you've made, whatever power you've gained, it's changing you. Goku doesn't deny it. Everyone's always depended on me to be the strongest. Piccolo, to save the day. I can't let this childish form stop me from being what everyone needs me to be. Even if what you become is something worse than what you're fighting against. Goku simply turns away. You wouldn't understand. You've never carried the weight I have. As they venture deeper into the demon realm, Goku's new powers begin to manifest. Despite his childlike appearance, his strength has returned, surpassing even his adult form. But there's something wrong about the energy he wields now. Something corrupted. During a battle with demon warriors, Goku unleashes a Kamehameha that not only destroys his opponents, but absorbs their essence, their very life force. The others watch in horror as Goku grows visibly stronger with each life he takes. This isn't right, Gohan whispers, watching his father with growing dread. Dad would never win. The ripples of Goku's dark choice spread outward like cracks in reality itself. As our heroes continue their journey through the demon realm, the transformation in Goku becomes impossible to ignore. His power grows exponentially with each passing day, but the cost becomes increasingly apparent to those who know him best. Vegeta watches with growing alarm, as his longtime rival and friend absorbs techniques from fallen enemies, incorporating their darkest abilities into his own fighting style. The pure white aura that once surrounded Goku has taken on crimson undertones, pulsing like an infected wound in the fabric of Ki itself. Something is very wrong with my dad, Gohan confides in Piccolo, as they make camp one night, keeping his voice low. It's like he's becoming someone else entirely. Piccolo nods grimly. The ritual he underwent has corrupted his energy signature. I sense similar transformations during my own dark past. The power comes at a terrible price. Gohan, the more he uses it, the less of your father remains. Back on Earth, signs of cosmic imbalance begin to manifest. Chi-Chi awakens from nightmares, screaming Goku's name. Bulma notices strange readings on her instruments, energy fluctuations that defy scientific explanation. Even the weather patterns change. Violent storms brewing without warning across the planet. In other world, King Kai calls an emergency meeting with the other Kais. Goku has tapped into forbidden power, he explains, his usually jovial face grave. The ripple effects are destabilizing the barriers between realms. The Supreme Kai looks troubled. There are ancient texts that speak of this. When a pure heart willingly embraces darkness, the resulting void creates a vacuum that draws in corrupting energies from across dimensions. We must intervene. Elder Kai insists. It's already too late. A new voice interrupts. They turn to see Whis approaching, his usually carefree demeanor replaced by serious concern. The mortal called Goku has made contact with powers that predate even the gods of destruction, powers that were sealed away for good reason. Deep in the demon realm, Goku stands alone at the edge of a precipice, gazing into swirling darkness below. The entity he contacted during the ritual speaks to him regularly now, whispering promises of even greater power. You have done well, Saiyan. The voice hisses from the void. Your strength grows impressively. But to complete your transformation, you must gather certain artifacts hidden throughout this realm. What artifacts? Goku asks, his voice now carrying a permanent echo, as though multiple voices speak through him. 7 ancient seals, created by the original architect of the Dragon Balls, the one you know as Zellama, the divine dragon god. Goku's eyes widen. Zellama, what connection does he have to this? The voice chuckles, a sound like breaking glass. The Dragon Balls you know are merely pale imitations of his original creation. The true Dragon Balls were too powerful, capable of rewriting reality itself. He scattered their essence across dimensions, sealed with his own divine energy. And you want me to gather these seals? Goku asks suspiciously. Why? To break your limitation completely, to transcend even the gods. Isn't that what you want, Son Goku? To never feel powerless again? The corruption within Goku pulses eagerly, but some small remaining part of his true self resists. What happens when all 7 seals are broken? The voice pauses before answering carefully. A rebirth. A new order to reality itself. Something about this feels wrong even to this corrupted version of Goku. But before he can question further, he senses his friends approaching. The conversation ends abruptly. As the group continues their journey, Goku secretly begins collecting the seals, hiding his true purpose from the others. Each seal he breaks allows more of the ancient darkness to flow into him, changing him further. His childlike body remains, but his eyes now glow with eldritch energy, and dark markings begin appearing on his skin. Piccolo and Vegeta exchange worried glances as they notice these changes, forming a silent alliance to watch Goku carefully. Gohan, meanwhile, begins researching ancient texts they find along their path, slowly uncovering the truth about what his father is becoming. After Goku breaks the 5th seal, absorbing its power in secret, Vegeta confronts him directly. Whatever game you're playing ends now, Kakarot. This power you're channeling reeks of destruction. Goku turns to him, eyes flashing dangerously. Since when does the Prince of all Saiyans fear power? Vegeta, I thought you'd understand better than anyone. I understand corruption when I see it. Vegeta responds. I've been its servant before. The darkness you're embracing will consume everything you care about. For a moment something like doubt flickers across Goku's face. Then his expression hardens. I'm doing what I must to protect everyone. Sometimes that requires sacrifice. Not this kind of sacrifice. Vegeta insists. Not your soul. Their conversation is interrupted by a tremendous energy surge nearby. The sixth seal has activated, responding to Goku's corrupted energy. The group rushes toward it, but upon arrival they find themselves face to face with a shocking sight. Zalama himself, or rather a spectral projection of the dragon god. The seals are breaking. Zalama intones, his voice reverberating through reality itself. The ancient darkness stirs. Who among you carries the corruption? All eyes turn to Goku, whose dark markings now pulse visibly through his gin. Zalama eyes narrow. I see it now. The darkness has found its champion in you. Son Goku, do you understand what you are unleashing? Not power, but the end of all things. What do you mean? Gohan demands. The entity guiding your father is no benevolent teacher. Zalama explains. It is the anti-creator, my ancient counterpart, sealed away eons ago when it sought to unmake reality itself. Goku steps forward, struggling visibly with conflicting impulses. He's lying, he growls, but his voice sounds uncertain. The power will be mine to control. The power was never meant for any mortal. Zalama responds. Break the final seal, and you become merely a vessel for chaos incarnate. As this revelation echoes through the chamber, the group stares at Goku in horror, finally understanding the true scope of what has been set in motion. The fate of not just Earth or their universe, but all of reality now hangs in the balance. The revelation of Goku's corruption transforms the mission instantly. What began as a quest to reverse their childlike forms has become a desperate race to save reality itself. Zalama's spectral form dissipates with one final warning. The seventh seal lies in the heart of the demon realm. If it breaks, all is lost. Tension explodes within the group as Vegeta immediately takes a fighting stance facing Goku. Stand down, Kakarot. This ends now. Goku's corrupted aura flares violently around his small form, the ground cracking beneath his feet. You don't understand what I'm becoming, Vegeta. This power will let me protect everyone forever. That thing inside you isn't you anymore. Vegeta shouts, fight it, Kakarot. Goku's response is a blast of energy that sends Vegeta crashing through ancient stone pillars. The battle has begun. Piccolo pulls Gohan aside quickly. We need to find the seventh seal before Goku does. You and I will go. Vegeta will keep him occupied. But my father, Gohan begins, torn between duty and family. Isn't your father right now? Piccolo finishes grimly. The Goku we know would beg us to stop him. Remember that. As Piccolo and Gohan rush deeper into the demon realm, Vegeta engages in a catastrophic battle with the corrupted Goku. Their powers shake the very foundations of the dimension, opening rifts to other realms as they clash. I've waited years to defeat you, Kakarot. Vegeta snarls as they exchange blows that would shatter planets, but not like this, never like this. Goku laughs, a sound devoid of his former warmth. Always second best. Vegeta, even now you're just buying time. His fighting style has changed completely, incorporating vicious techniques no pure-hearted Saiyan would use. He targets vital points, fights without honor, reveling in Vegeta's pain. Despite their childlike forms, the power they wield is godlike, enhanced by the strange energies of the demon realm. Mountains collapse around them. The sky tears open, revealing glimpses of other dimensions bleeding through. Meanwhile, Piccolo and Gohan race through labyrinthine passages, following the energy signature of the final seal. If we destroy it before it can be broken, Piccolo explains, we might sever the connection between the anti-creator and your father. And if that doesn't work, Gohan asks. Piccolo's expression darkens. Then we may have to do something unthinkable. Back at the battlefield, Vegeta is losing ground. Despite his incredible power and tactical genius, he cannot match the corrupted energies flowing through Goku. After a particularly devastating exchange, Vegeta lies broken among rubble, barely conscious. Goku stands over him, palm extended for a final blast. You always pushed me to be stronger, Vegeta. You should be proud of what I'm becoming. Blood trickling from his mouth, Vegeta manages a defiant smile. What you're becoming is exactly what you spent your life fighting against. Kakarot would rather die than see himself become this. Something flickers in Goku's eyes, a moment of recognition of internal struggle. Before he can respond, a new energy signature appears behind him. That's enough, Dad. Goku turns to see Gohan standing there, power radiating from him in waves. Despite his childlike form, behind him floats a small crystalline object, the final seal. Step aside, son. Goku commands, his voice distorted by the corruption. You don't want to fight me. You're right. Gohan agrees, his eyes sad but determined. I don't want to fight my father, but you're not him anymore. What follows is a battle unlike any in Dragon Ball history. A son forced to confront the corrupted shell of his father. What's unique isn't the power they display, but the emotional weight behind every blow. Gohan fights with tears streaming down his face, each attack a desperate attempt to reach the father he knows still exists somewhere within the corruption. Remember who you are, Gohan shouts as they clash in midair, his Kamehameha straining against Goku's corrupted version of the same technique, now black and crackling with malevolent energy. Remember what you taught me about power, about responsibility. For a moment Goku's attacks falter, recognition flashes across his face. Gohan, but the corruption surges back, stronger than before. Weakness, the distorted voice growls. Sentiment is weakness. As they battle, Piccolo works frantically with the seal, attempting to modify the ancient magic to extract the corruption rather than simply contain it. I need more time, he calls to Gohan. Keep him occupied. The fight escalates as Goku draws more deeply on his corrupted power. Dark lightning crackles around him as he unleashes techniques never before seen, techniques that hurt reality itself. With each new power he displays, his body changes further, the corruption manifesting physically despite his childlike form. Gohan fights valiantly, but is eventually overwhelmed. As he crashes to the ground near Piccolo, Goku approaches slowly, darkness swirling around him like a living shroud. The seal he demands, extending his hand. Give it to me now and I might still show mercy. Gohan rises shakily to his feet, placing himself between Piccolo and his father. You once sacrificed yourself to save me, Dad, to save everyone. You were my hero not because you were the strongest, but because you were the kindest, the most forgiving. Something in these words reaches through the corruption. Goku falters, clutching his head as though in pain. Gohan, I can't stop it. It's too strong now. The voice speaks through him. The seal. Now, Gohan takes a desperate chance. Instead of continuing to fight, he steps forward and embraces his father. Then take it, he says softly. If this power means more to you than your family, than everything you've ever fought for, then take it. But do it as yourself, not as the thing controlling you. The simple act of love, the unconditional acceptance, cuts through the darkness more effectively than any attack. Goku trembles, fighting an internal battle more difficult than any external one he's ever faced. I just wanted to be strong enough, he whispers, his true voice breaking through. Strong enough to protect everyone, to never fail again. Strength isn't just power, Dad, Gohan replies, still holding him. You taught me that. The internal struggle reaches its climax as the corruption fights to maintain control. The anti-creator, sensing its plan in jeopardy, manifests partially, a shadowy presence looming over them. You are mine now, it declares. The transformation is too far advanced to reverse. Piccolo chooses this moment to activate the modified seal. Now, Gohan, he shouts. The final confrontation hangs in perfect balance as Goku makes his choice. In the crucible of that perfect moment, with reality itself trembling around them, Goku makes his decision. With a roar that echoes across dimensions, he turns inward, wresting control from the corruption that has nearly consumed him. Get out of my head, he screams. His voice his own again, if only for this critical instant. Piccolo activates the modified seal, which erupts in blinding light. The crystalline object rises between them, pulsing with ancient power as it begins drawing the corruption from Goku's body like poison from a wound. The anti-creator howls in rage, its shadowy presence fighting desperately to maintain its hold. You are nothing without me, it hisses into Goku's mind. A child again, weak, forgotten. Goku grits his teeth through excruciating pain as the corruption is extracted. It'd rather be weak and whole than powerful and hollow, he manages. The process is catastrophic. The ground beneath them disintegrates as reality struggles to contain the energies being unleashed. Vegeta, having regained consciousness, creates a barrier around Gohan and Piccolo, shielding them from the worst of the backlash. Stubborn as always, Kakarot, he mutters, a hint of pride in his voice despite everything. The extraction continues for what seems like eternity, the seal drawing more and more of the anti-creator's essence into itself. As the last tendrils of corruption leave his body, Goku collapses, seemingly lifeless. The seal, now pulsing with contained darkness, begins to crack under the strain. It's going to break, Gohan shouts. The seal can't hold that much negative energy. Piccolo grabs the seal, his expression grim. Then I'll take it somewhere it can't do any harm. No, Gohan protests, understanding his mentor's intention. There has to be another way. Before the debate can continue, Goku stirs, rising shakily to his feet. Though still in his child form, the dark markings have vanished. His eyes, once more clear and kind, fix on the cracking seal. Not your responsibility, Piccolo, he says quietly. Mine. With speed that surprises everyone, Goku snatches the seal and uses instant transmission. He reappears at the dimensional boundary of the demon realm, where reality thins to a mere membrane. Kakarot, don't you dare. Vegeta's voice reaches him through their shared mental link, developed through years of rivalry and friendship. Goku smiles sadly. Take care of everyone, Vegeta. Especially Chi-Chi and my boys. With that final message, he tears through the dimensional barrier, taking himself and the unstable seal into the void between realities. The explosion that follows is not one of destruction but of rebirth, a cleansing wave of energy that restores balance to the disrupted dimensions. In the aftermath, our heroes find themselves back on Earth, their childlike forms still intact but the greater threat neutralized. The cost, however, is devastating. Is he really gone? Gohan asks quietly as they gather at Capsule Corp, the full implications sinking in. Not gone, Supreme Kai explains, having arrived to help deal with the aftermath. In between, the dimensional void where he took the seal exists outside normal space-time. He's suspended there, containing the anti-creator's essence. Then we can bring him back, Chi-Chi insists. Her voice breaking but determined. We've brought him back before. Supreme Kai exchanges uncomfortable glances with Elder Kai. This is different. He isn't dead, so the Dragon Balls can't resurrect him. And attempting to breach the void might release what he's containing. The new reality settles heavily upon them all. Goku, their greatest champion, is neither alive nor dead, but existing in eternal vigilance, preventing the corruption from ever returning. Months pass. The Earth continues turning. Our heroes remain in their childlike forms, a constant reminder of the adventure that cost them so much. Yet life adapts, as it always does. Vegeta takes on the mantle of Earth's primary defender, though he does so with a new perspective. The rivalry that defined him for so long has been replaced by a solemn promise to honor Goku's sacrifice by protecting what he cherished. Gohan balances his scholarly pursuits with more active training, understanding now the importance of remaining vigilant. He often visits the spot where they return from the demon realm, sensing some lingering connection to his father. It is during one such visit, nearly a year after the events in the demon realm, that something unprecedented occurs. A ripple in reality, subtle but unmistakable, a familiar energy signature, faint but recognizable. Dad, Gohan whispers, hardly daring to hope. No physical manifestation appears, but the energy pulses in what feels remarkably like communication. Gohan races to Capsule Corp, where Bulma has been working tirelessly on dimensional research, inspired by Goku's fate. I've detected it too, she confirms excitedly. Sporadic energy patterns identical to Goku's signature, breaching the dimensional barrier for microseconds at a time. What does it mean? Gohan asks. Bulma shakes her head, both excited and cautious. I don't know yet, but it means he's still fighting. Still Goku, word spreads quickly. Chi-Chi spends hours at the breach point, talking to the empty air, somehow knowing her words reach him. Vegeta visits too, though he would deny it if asked, standing in stoic silence or occasionally offering gruff updates on his training progress. The most surprising development comes from an unexpected source. During one of the energy pulses, Whis appears, having sensed the disturbance from Beerus' planet. Fascinating, the angel comments, studying the dimensional breach with genuine interest. Your father has accomplished something unprecedented. He is using the anti-creator's own power against it, slowly transforming the void into a pocket dimension. Can we help him? Gohan asks eagerly. Bring him back. Whis considers this carefully. Not directly, no, but perhaps we can send him something. Energy information. A rare smile crosses his face. Hope. What follows is an extraordinary collaboration. Under Whis' guidance, Earth's remaining warriors gather regularly at the breach point, channeling their energy and thoughts to Goku. They share stories, encouragement, their lives continuing even in his absence. Each time the energy pulses grow slightly stronger, more frequent. He's creating his own way back, Whis explains. Gradually, methodically, in a way only Goku could conceive, transforming his prison into a path home. The New World Order isn't what anyone expected. The absence of Earth's greatest hero has forced growth in unexpected ways. Rivals have become allies, students have become masters, the loss has tempered them all, like steel and fire, into something stronger, and somewhere between dimensions, Goku continues his greatest battle, not one of fists but of will, slowly forging his way back to those he loves, forever changed but undefeated. In the final energy pulse stronger than any before, a message reaches them clear as day in Goku's unmistakable voice. Still fighting, still coming home. The Dragon Ball world will never be the same again. But then true growth never returns us to where we began. What truly makes Dragon Ball resonate across generations isn't merely the spectacular battles or transformations, but the profound philosophical questions it explores through its characters. Goku's journey through this alternate timeline illuminates these themes more powerfully than perhaps any canonical storyline. The corrupted path Goku walked forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about power and identity. For decades, we've watched Goku define himself through strength, through his ability to overcome any obstacle, through sheer determination and moral clarity. His childlike transformation into Maple threatened that fundamental identity, revealing a vulnerability in even the strongest heart. When we examine his decision to seek forbidden power, we must ask ourselves, was this truly a departure from his character, or the revelation of something that always existed beneath the surface? The Saiyan drive for power, the competitive spirit that pushes beyond limits, these traits have always been celebrated in Goku. Perhaps the line between heroism and corruption was always thinner than we realized. Vegeta's evolution throughout this crisis illuminates another fascinating dimension. The former villain who once sought power at any cost became the voice of restraint and wisdom. His journey from darkness to light gave him perspective that even Goku lacked. When he told Goku, "I've been its servant before," he spoke from hard-earned wisdom. The prince who once would have embraced such power instead fought against it, completing his transformation from villain to true hero. Gohan, too, represents a powerful philosophical counterpoint. Throughout Dragon Ball, he's embodied potential unfulfilled, his immense power, tempered by his scholarly nature and reluctance to fight. Yet when faced with his father's corruption, he demonstrated that true strength isn't measured in power levels, but in moral courage. His willingness to confront his father not with hatred, but with love represents the purest expression of strength in the entire saga. The concept of sacrifice has always been central to Dragon Ball. Goku has died multiple times to save Earth and his loved ones. Yet his sacrifice in the void between dimensions represents something more profound, a willingness to endure eternal vigilance, neither alive nor dead, to contain a threat of his own making. It speaks to responsibility in its purest form. Perhaps most compelling is how this alternate timeline forces us to reconsider Goku's innocence. His childlike nature, his pure heart, these have been constants throughout the series. Yet his corruption reveals that innocence untested isn't truly innocence at all. Only when faced with true temptation, with the offer of unlimited power at a terrible cost, could the full measure of his character be taken. What does power truly mean in the Dragon Ball universe? The franchise's trademark power scaling has always suggested straightforward answers, more Confirtimar transformations, more destructive capability. Yet this alternate path reveals that true power emerges from choice, not capability. Goku's greatest strength ultimately wasn't his ability to destroy, but his will to endure, his ability to choose humanity over godhood. Consider how each character reflected different aspects of strength. Vegeta embodied resilience, continuing to fight even when hopelessly outmatched. Piccolo demonstrated wisdom, finding a third path when only two impossible choices seemed available. Gohan showed compassion, reaching his father through love rather than combat. Each represents a facet of true power that transcends mere destructive capability. The anti-creator itself serves as a fascinating philosophical counterpoint to Zalama. Creation and destruction, order and chaos, these dualities have always existed in Dragon Ball, from the balance between gods of destruction and supreme chaos. Yet the anti-creator represents something more insidious, the corruption of creation itself, the perversion of purpose. It sought not to destroy reality, but to unmake it, a distinction with profound implications. As we watch Goku slowly creating his path home from the void, we witness perhaps the most powerful theme in all of Dragon Ball. Hope is the ultimate force in any universe. Not power, not technique, but the unyielding belief that challenges exist to be overcome. Even stranded between dimensions, Goku remains fundamentally himself, finding innovative solutions, never surrendering, always believing in a way forward. The lingering question this alternate timeline leaves us with is deeply personal. Would we have made the same choice? Faced with diminishment, with the loss of capabilities that define us, would we have resisted the temptation of forbidden power? Goku initially failed this test, but ultimately redeemed himself through sacrifice, a trajectory that makes him not less heroic but more human. Dragon Ball has always been about transcending limitations, about pushing beyond what seems possible. Through this alternate exploration of Daima, we see that the greatest limitations aren't physical but spiritual. The true frontier isn't the next transformation or power level, but the ongoing battle within ourselves, between our highest aspirations and our darkest temptations. In the final analysis, Goku's journey through corruption and redemption doesn't diminish the canonical story, it enhances it, providing contrast that illuminates the true heroism of his character. By seeing what he might have become, we better appreciate who he truly is. Not a perfect hero, but a flawed being constantly choosing the path of light, even when darkness offers easier rewards. And isn't that ultimately the most inspiring heroism of all?